In this video, we'll work on how to run unit level tests now that we've created them in Visual Studio and also on the command line. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to add a GoogleTest add-in to Visual Studio, which makes our life a lot easier with dealing with hundreds of unit level tests. They will show you how to run tests, both all of them, select a test or fail test, how to debug test, and how to run tests from the command line, and some options for integrating into continuous integration systems like Bamboo or Jenkins or QuickBuild. So the first thing I need you guys to do is to go ahead and download the GoogleTest add-in. It can be found at this URL. It's also available in the text with the video. Once you've done that, go ahead and click on it and then restart Visual Studio. Okay. Let's go ahead and take a look at what that looks like. So once you bring up Visual Studio, you'll quickly see that there's a test menu item. In that test menu item now, there's a whole bunch of options here. So let's go ahead and try some of these out. I can go up here and hit Test, Run, and then let's run all my tests. I'll look over here on the right now. Over here, I can now see that I've got 3 tests that all ran green. This is great because I can easily see what's passed. Now, this is in a simple example like this with only 3 tests. I can do the same thing on the command line by hitting Control F5. It'll pop up the command window and show me the results. If I have hundreds of them, it's a lot harder to see. Let's take a look and see what one looks like when it actually fails. Let's change one of my asserts. Go ahead and save the file and then run the test again. The add-in automatically detects whether it needs to build before it actually runs the command. So it's building the Bitcoin transaction ULT CPP file, and there we go. It shows that one of my tests failed. Not only does it show that it failed, it shows the name, Bitcoin transaction set negative amount, and also the line number down here. And it also shows me what the expected value was and what the real value was. So it makes it very easy for us to find what's going on. The plugin also allows us to debug test as well. So I can go ahead and set breakpoints by clicking here on the left. And let's click right here. And then let's go ahead under test and hit debug. And I can debug all the tests. No point in compiling this time. It's going to go ahead and try and run those tests in the debugger. And since I already have my breakpoint set, once the debugger gets to that point, we'll easily be able to determine what's going on. Just by hovering over, I can see the value of BT and all the values on the inside. It is negative 1,000, so my bug is actually right here. So I can go ahead and fix that. And then another great option that they have here, go ahead and hit continue, finish up the test. Another great option they have here is I can say test, run, all the failed tests. If you have hundreds of tests that can take minutes to run, and you only have one test that failed, you can quickly make your change. Go ahead and make sure that that new test passes. If you're working with one test over and over again, this makes your test runs a lot faster. So now it works fine. So nice little add-in, gives me a lot of benefit. But I also at times want to run things from the command line, especially when you're integrating into a build system or something like that. In order to do that effectively, you need to create a main.cpp file. So in your main.cpp file, it's really easy to get arguments that are passed in from the command line and pass them to GoogleTest and initialize GoogleTest, and then run all the tests that are specified on the command line. This gives you a lot of flexibility with running tests in a test harness or in a continuous integration system. So you can go ahead and cut and paste this main program from the text with the video. let's go ahead and take a look at what happens now. So let's take a look at my main.cpp. I have it in there. Everything's fine. So now when I build, it will go ahead and it will build this file here, bitcoin_unit-level-test.exe. That's the name of the project and the name of the executable that gets built. Now this doesn't just run your small main program. Well, it also adds all the Google test stuff in there that you need. So this actually has quite a few options to it, and we can look at all the options by typing in //help. As you can see, there's lots of options that I can use here in running this command. Here are some of those options that you can use. There's a filter command that lets you run only certain tests, like gtest_filter star will run all the tests, but what if I only want to run the Bitcoin transaction test? Because I have test case names, dot, and then test names, I can easily run all the Bitcoin transaction tests. So that naming convention that we talked about in the last video becomes important here. Also, if you want to repeat a test several times, I can go ahead and do that as well with the Google gtest_repeat. If you put a -1 there, it'll run them forever. These can be good if you have like a data-driven test that you have set up that just looks for new files coming in. That's a great example for that. Also, another helpful option is the gtest_output. If you change that to XML, it will create a file called test_details or details_test.xml, which can be parsed by any JUnit parser. This again gives you the ability to integrate with continuous integration systems or with test harnesses that are used to JUnit output. So let's take a look at how we can go ahead and do that. So I can come here, type in my command, and then let's go ahead and type in a gtest output is equal to XML. It will give you the output on the command line, and also it will also give you the test_detail XML file. And again, this is XML that is easily parsed by any JUnit parser. So this helps you out quite a bit when you want to integrate with continuous integration systems. So that's it. I hope this helps you in helping you write your unit level test and keep the quality of your program high.